What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Sound Design channel. My name is La, and today we're going to look at the bass from the Lane 8 track called No Fun. I previously covered a lot of the other elements that you're going to see in this little idea in a previous video, so you guys can go check that out. I'll link it up above somewhere. Let's have a listen to the bass and then we'll dive into the sound design. Cool. So yeah, it's a very nice bass. It's just like has this nice simple rhythm to it. It's very catchy. And yeah, so I try to emulate essentially a real bass guitar because I think that's what he used. It has this kind of unique bass guitar feel to it. And yeah, I could have just used maybe like the Scarby through Native Instruments or the Rickenbacker bass or something like that. But because this is the sound design channel, I want to show how you can kind of make that with like Serum or Diva or something like that. So that's what I've done. So let's have a look at the MIDI. So we're playing in E minor, and essentially all it's doing is just playing the tonic, the E minor, and then it goes down to the C, and then down to the A, and then we've got a few of these little notes in between, just kind of mixing it up. Alright guys, so we're going to make the bass from scratch using Serum. So I've got a duplicate channel down here, which is just the same processing and then all of the same MIDI here. And then I've got a initial patch in Serum open. I'll just make this a little bit bigger. Cool, so a place to start with this would be from this melodic house pack. And there's a preset called Pluck Guitar. If you don't have this pack, I'll just do it from the initial patch so you can see everything completely from scratch. So I think I set this up as it might have been the basic MCB. It's just a bit of a softer sawtooth, and you can kind of morph it a little bit, which I don't think I ended up doing, but this is the waveform that I used. And then I added another sawtooth here on this basic shapes. Went to this one here. So from here we have this sound, and what we need to do is add a fifth. So we want to add +1 here and then -5. So we're going to add the fifth, and then we're going to turn this down quite a lot, so it's just comes through a little bit but not too much. Next thing we need is a filter. So I've just filtered both of them, A and B, and then brought this down. And then now we want to open up that filter with an envelope. So we can use this amp envelope. We can just bring this down so it's a bit plucky. Bit of release. Something like that. Add this over here. And then bring this down. Bring it down a bit more. So it's got a bit more punch. So for me, I was trying to emulate a guitar. If you strum on a bass guitar, there's going to be quite a bit of release, or even if you pluck on a bass guitar, unless you then press down on the strings afterwards, which is going to stop it from releasing. So you do want a fair bit of release on this. A little bit more decay maybe. Ooh. Yeah, I think there's good. We can add a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. A bit of drive here. Don't go too far, but a little bit, and a bit of fat. Now we're getting a little bit loud. We'll just turn it down. And then we'll turn this one up a little bit more. So this is going to be more of our subby, like lower frequencies. Cool. That'll do for now. And then we'll go to effects and we'll add a little bit of distortion. We can leave it on this tube and then just bring the mix over and then bring the drive over. That's just compressing it a little bit and warming it up. So that's it for the sound design. We'll just put it into mono as well, important to do. And then we go to the processing.
Hi, this video is sponsored by us. If you like these tutorials and want to support the channel, please check out our website packed with online courses and professional sample packs. Also check our ready-to-use and club-tested Serum presets. You can browse by the genre and style you're looking for, or get the incredible deal with the full Serum preset bundle. Thank you for listening, and now let's get back to your tutorial.
So I'll just turn this all on, and you'll hear the difference. It has a little bit more of a guitar feel, I would say, and it's a little bit more closed down. We've got some EQ here, so it's just a bit more compressed and a little bit less open. And that's going to make room for the pluck that we have here. Right, maybe it can be a little bit more open. We'll just open this up. Yeah, nice. So let's go through the processing, what we have here. So just an EQ, as you can hear, it's just to close it down a little bit and to get rid of a little bit of this muddy frequencies here. We've got an amp and this cabinet here. So these kind of work hand in hand. You can use them individually on their own, but the amp is a guitar amp, and then the cabinet is to represent the cabinet surrounding the amp. So yeah, they're supposed to work well together, and they do. They sound really nice, and they sound quite similar to would they give that kind of like guitar feel, I would say. And so all I did with this is I set this up just as the default and then went to bass here. Took away a little bit of the bass frequencies, otherwise it gets a little bit too subby and muddy. And then took away a bit of the middle and treble as well, so it's quite a subtle effect. And then brought the dry wet to 27, as you can see here. You can use dual, which will make it sound a bit bigger. It essentially duplicates the sound, same as what you can do on the cabinet here. It will just duplicate it. And with the cabinet, this makes quite a big difference. So I'll turn this on and off. It adds quite a lot of volume, and also adds quite a bit of low end there, which is quite nice. It just really warms it up. Cool. And then the other thing that I've done here is just got a little bit of an auto filter just to get rid of the low end, just in this region here. Nothing too important there. And then the limiter here, this is just to control the overall volume. So I set the ceiling of the volume to minus 10 dB, as the kick is around minus 7 dB, something like that. Yeah, 7.2. And so I've just made sure that the bass is like 3 dB less than the kick, which always tends to have like a nice result mixing wise. It's just not going to make it so that the bass isn't overcrowding the kick, which is like the most important element. Well, it's not the most important element, the kick, but it's like the driving force in the track, so you want it to come through nice and clear. So then what you do here is you set the ceiling and then just push the gain until you're getting a bit of gain reduction. You see here we're getting like maybe 1 dB of gain reduction, something like that, maybe less. So not too much to the point where it's just like distorting. There's like no dynamics at all. It's just like pushing it, which you might want that. It sounds very big, but I don't want that. I just want a little bit. It's a little bit more punchy that way. Cool. Utility, this isn't really worth mentioning too much. It's just got bass mono, but the bass is actually in mono anyway, so this could be taken away. And then we've got a sidechain compressor here, just to the kick. Very important, otherwise it's going to just sound a bit clouded and messy. You can hear there it's just fighting with it. And there it's just moving out the way for each other. And then an EQ afterwards, just to kind of clean things up. Maybe we can open this up as well a little bit, just so those higher frequencies come through a little bit more. And that's it. That's pretty much all I did for the bass. We can hear it in context of everything. So the majority of the kind of subby power from this is coming from the kick. So the actual bass itself is not that sub heavy. It's mostly just in this kind of region here, which is not like super subby. And then the kick is in that area as well. The reason for this, in this project in particular, is because the kick is landing on the exact same hits as the bass. So you don't want them both to have a lot of sub information. Otherwise it's just going to be too much, and your track's just going to sound muddy and unclear. So you can see here that the bass is landing on the same hits as the kick. So if you're ever making a track like that, say if you're trying to remake this track in particular, just bear that in mind. If you have something that's landing exactly when something else is, maybe do a little bit of manipulation to make sure that the sounds aren't layering exactly on top of each other. Otherwise, it can just get a little bit resonant and a little bit messy. And in this case, it works really well because there's quite a bit of space in between them. Cool. So I hope this was all helpful for you guys. If it was, let us know in the comments. Also leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll link to the Melodic House pack down below in the description if you guys want to grab that and start from there. But that's it, guys. Thank you very much. I'll catch you in the next one.